You're not cheating on your wife if you eat my lemon square.
Your lemon squares taste like ass.
And welcome back to Horror Queers Hangout. As you can see, we are joined by more than just a couple of friends and colleagues. We have assembled basically like a greatest hits list of people who have already joined us on the Hangouts from this year. And we have invited them to create their top 10 lists for horror movies of the year so far. And what we're going to do is play a little match game with them. So Trace and I have compiled our top 10 list, and we are going to go through it from most popular to least popular. And we're going to see how many of these folks we can knock out until we get to one winner.
Yeah.
So Trace, go ahead.
How do they get knocked out?
Okay, so Trace and I have 10 titles on our list. We are looking to match with other players. If they do not have a title on their list, that means that they are out of the game, and they will then begin to catcall and troll the rest of us. Mm-hmm. Make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this and it's not clear, just watch and it'll become clear.
It'll become obvious pretty quickly. Yeah. Okay, so Trace, why don't you kick us off with the first title from our top 10 of 2022 so far?
Yes. So a film that is in both of Joe's and I's top 10 that we're like, cool, yeah, this is totally top 10 of 2022 material, at least until the 500 other horror films are coming out in August, September, October, November, December. Our first one is going to be Scream 2022.
All right, who's got it?
I can't believe it.
I am so shocked.
So I am seeing that Ryan and DeVaughn may be out.
No, DeVaughn!
I didn't do this on purpose, I swear. Like that. I'm not trying to be cool or anything. I'm actually sad now because once you said that at the beginning, I was like, man, I'm getting knocked out first. I'm sorry, guys.
It took me a while to find reactors again, y'all, and we just.
I know Ryan has seen Scream. Like, I know that happened. Like that's not.
So this means
I fabricated many a memory all this time.
We lost one of you in this round, and that is DeVaughn. DeVaughn, would you care to explain why Scream is not, politely, not in your top 10 list?
No, I totally see why people enjoyed it as much as they did. And I definitely didn't hate it. I was very 50-50 on it. And I think it was just because on my podcast, Boy Blend Cinema Club, we were also going through the Scream franchise, and I kind of grew this like real appreciation for the franchise that I didn't have before. So then when Scream 5 kind of wasn't what I thought it would be, and like I just didn't enjoy it nearly as much. It didn't feel very creative compared to some of the other sequels. And it's kind of at the bottom of my Scream list, but I haven't rewatched it since theaters, so.
So
that's
it's at the bottom of your Scream list, but where is it in your 2022 list?
Also pretty at the bottom. It's barely ahead of Morbius.
Well,
wow.
Deep shade.
Even from a technical standpoint, I feel like Scream.
I know.
Wait, are we sure we're not ejecting people from the chat?
I know. Can you make it a graphic though, where he literally like his window just like flies off?
I'm gonna get morbed. I'm gonna get morbed off screen.
Yeah, we'll just replace you with Jared Leto.
Oh God.
So DeVaughn, you are still free to talk and chime in, but you cannot do reactions because you are now out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty chill. I'm gonna just drink. I'm gonna get drunk the fastest. That's what I'll do.
There we go. Okay.
My names.
Okay, everybody ready for our second title?
Yes.
Here we go. It is a numerical, and it has a prequel coming out in the near future. So we picked X as our number 2.
When you said numerical, I was like, what?
I was.
No, I was too. I was like,
I'm
okay,
gone.
I guess I'm out. I don't even know what you're
Goodbye.
talking about.
A popular film called 10.
Yeah. I was like,
Bo Derek.
Ooh,
Wait,
that's a
so
different one.
Ryan, are you out?
I'm out.
Oh, fuck me, man.
Okay. Wow.
Look, that X was the fantasy I was not living. But I'm also full of crap because I can't wait for Pearl at the same time. So
I feel like that's fair, though. I feel like that's actually really fair.
They look different.
Mhm.
different vibes.
No,
Hopefully.
wait, Lindsay, did you say you're out too because you haven't seen X?
No, I have. Oh my gosh, how dare! No, I have seen X. I was joking that I believed that I was out when Joe said it was a numerical, and then I was feeling increasingly self-conscious about how like unaware I am that I didn't even know what movie he was referring to. I was like, oh my god, it's the second one. I've never even heard of it. Like, I can't be here. No, I love X. X rocks. It was on my list.
Well, okay. Our third one, I don't think anyone's going to get kicked out of this one unless they just haven't seen it, because it's a very, very, very new film that is a prequel to a long-standing action horror franchise, and that would be Dan Trachtenberg's Prey.
Oh no!
Oh,
The game is going so much faster than we expected.
Maybe it's because it's too new. Like, it's like a weekend. If you didn't watch it this weekend, you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I
It made my list.
I almost
did
forgot to put it on my
too.
list.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
be really
too.
snarky. Letterboxd says it is not a horror movie. It says it's a sci-fi thriller.
Fuck you, Letterboxd.
Ejected.
Wait, okay.
Thanks for playing.
So, I don't know. Maybe we should let Jenny come back in because Letterboxd fooled her.
No, I talked to Lindsay. Like, we had a conversation, and I said,
Don't drag me into
Letterboxd
this.
says sci-fi.
I said I didn't know because I had not seen it.
So if I get
But
back
it is
in,
true
Lindsay
that
should be able to get
It
back.
is.
Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it is true that we did discuss the list, the master list, and whether, because there was something I'm not going to say that was like very obvious a horror movie that was not on that list,
Mhm.
and I wasn't sure about Prey, but I haven't seen it. As Jenny knows, we both had the opportunity the other day to watch movies to catch up for this
And
game.
you did not take it.
Both watched.
Whereas I think Adrian was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch like a dozen movies this weekend in
Yeah.
anticipation of this."
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got 5 knocked out over the weekend. So yeah.
I got
Wow.
3 in. I got 3.
Okay. I will confess, doing this was a challenge. Like, even for Tracy and I, we were like, so what are the top films of the year for us? And folks, for anyone watching at home, we did this up to August 5th. So even though you may be seeing this a little bit later, we were unable to include anything that came out after that date. But even at that point, there were certain things where I was like, there's been a lot of horror released this year, and I have not seen most of these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a crammer. Like last month and a half of the year, that's like when all the new releases.
Yeah.
You know, I've been watching a lot of like just like old stuff I haven't seen this year, and then I cram it in at the end.
Yeah, I've been getting into more like horror TV series, but like Prey made my list. Like it was just, I mean,
Very
and it's from the
solid.
sideline.
Jenny and Lindsay, no excuse.
No excuse.
You're too busy watching found footage movies.
Complete.
Yeah.
I accept that. That I accept. Found footage movies.
So,
What if
Okay.
we told you that Prey was a found footage movie?
I would absolutely. I didn't throw like. up. I'd be so-
Just
I
kidding.
like
They didn't
not
have
see it
cameras
to,
then.
like protest. I just didn't watch it yet.
Oh my gosh, please give me a found footage Predator movie. That sounds
Right.
Okay,
Please.
so-
The stress.
because so here's the thing, there are 8 contestants and 4 of you were already out. We have 4 left. My late in the game rule is, if hypothetically all 4 of the survivors get knocked out this next round or any round, if like all the survivors get knocked out one round, they get to stay into the next round until there's 1 person left.
Okay.
So
Does that make
wait,
sense?
the people who already got knocked out just
Yeah,
stay-
y'all are fucked. Y'all are fucked.
Yeah.
Trace
Sorry.
is very
Everybody
unforgiving
loses
when
at
it
the
comes to
same time.
competitive.
We've had
games.
someone get knocked out every round, though. You're saying that
Mhm.
if everyone's on the same page, then
No.
like got knocked out at the same time.
Everyone-
Yeah, all 4 of us.
Right.
So let's say in the
if we
next
all
round,
get
2 of
knocked
you
out.
get out. That's fine. There's 2 left. But if both of those 2 get knocked out the next round, they keep going until at least one of
One
them
winner.
gets it right and one of them gets out. You know?
We're looking for
So no
ultimate
ties,
bragging
basically.
rights. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, so 4 players remain. We've got Terry, Adrian, MaryBeth, and Kay still active.
This is why.
This is the reason that Trace brought this up is because we're nearing the tipping point of, okay, it'll be interesting to see how many people actually have this on this list. But we think this next one is probably still pretty popular. One of our female directors on this list, it is Chloe Okuno's Watcher.
All right,
Adrian.
So I don't know how to search. 1 second.
Are you searching for the movie to see if you know what this is?
Not a Zoom girl.
All right, so we have lost Adrian.
I have a confession. I knew this one was going to be on your guys' list.
Wow.
It wouldn't be on mine, but I put it on it anyway.
So wait, I'm curious. So,
Fair,
Terry,
you're playing
so
to win. I like that.
why would it not be on your list, Terry?
Okay, confession time. I feel really bad for giving this a rotten review on Rotten Tomatoes.
Terry.
I found it was really pedestrian. I thought it was beautiful to look at. I thought the acting was really good. I thought the script was absolutely pedestrian, and it annoyed me by the end of it.
I'm out, but I'll say this was one of my watches. I actually watched super late last night, and I watched it so that way I could listen to your guys' episode, and I was ready to clown it with you guys. I was like, oh man, I was like, they're not gonna, I was like, this could be fun. And then you guys loved it. And I was just like, wait, what? And then, so it's actually the 11th spot on my list.
So I said this on our episode on this movie, but so you know when you get screeners, sometimes they have a 5-watch limit. It's like, oh, you have 5 watches if you're gonna watch this movie 5 fucking times.
Yeah.
I got my screener, and my husband wanted to watch it, and so I let him use my screening link. He watched it 5 times in a week
Before Trace got to it.
Before I got to it.
Was he watching it at bedtime?
No, I mean he loved it so much that he'd come home you want to watch Watcher? I was like, I've already seen it twice. I'm good, and I like it, but I don't need to. He watched it every fucking time.
But Andrew's a rewatcher. That's Andrew's MO, which I love.
Very much so. Very much so.
Way to approach the consumption of movies, but he'll always be like, yeah, I watched it 4 times, and I'm like, okay, hell yeah.
I wasn't mocking him. I'm just saying he used all my screenings.
You are.
Okay, now you have to reach out to the movie.
I always wonder who uses all 5 screening slots, and now I know.
Now we know.
Husband.
I do because of technical issues.
Yeah, I use mine for technical issues because it'll be I go to start it on my TV and it doesn't work, and then I have to switch to my laptop, and it's like, you have 1 left. I'm like, wait, what? What?
Critic problems.
Right. Yeah. Not relatable content. Adrian, I feel like we haven't gotten a chance to hear from you. Was this not on your list, or was it just not on your radar?
Not on my list. I haven't seen it yet. The premise seems great. I just haven't got around to it. So I don't know. She seems divisive. So maybe I'll give it a whirl and see what I think about it, because I love a good slow burn movie. I enjoy them for whatever reason. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting so far. So maybe I'll give her a shot.
Okay.
I just want to say I love Chloe, and I think she does a fantastic job directing this movie, and
Chloe,
it looks fantastic. The script was just
process.
Her direction saves the movie.
It does. It is her direction and Monroe's performance. The script doesn't have a lot of surprises. It pretty much goes exactly where you think it's going to go. But the performance and the direction elevated it to the point where I didn't care that I wasn't surprised by this movie.
Right.
Got it.
Shout out to the lighting and costume departments, though. I'll give them their flowers for sure.
Listen, that is the
movie.
No, I mean that wholeheartedly. The lighting
the
is
supermarket
impeccable.
where they got that plastic bag. Excellent work.
That's the equivalent of lovely gowns, DeVaughn. You basically just hit them with beautiful gowns.
Okay, I didn't shout out crafty. Okay, that would be that. That's legit. I mean that.
The inclusion of charade in there. Oh, chef's kiss. I just loved it.
I mean, y'all, literally 2 movies where Micah Monroe's character goes to see Charade and she doesn't get to finish fucking Charade. I just want Micah Monroe to watch Charade.
Yeah, you know what? But she kills the bad guy.
Spoilers, but yes.
I mean, you said that we would know where it was going anyways. So
this is
true.
You can see it coming. So
all right.
It sounds very pretty.
That is number 4 of 10, and 5 of you fuckers are out. So
so rude.
This next one is actually my current top of the year pick. This is a Korean film, and it goes by the name of Midnight.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You can't put movies that I work for the company I work for on the list. That's not fair. That's illegal.
So, did either Terry, MaryBeth, or Kay have this on their list?
MaryBeth is out.
That's not it.
Terry is out.
Kay just puts.
And Kay is a cat.
Yeah, which one? You are Michelle Pfeiffer?
Now she saw it, yes.
Oh.
So again, all of y'all got out. So we're gonna say that's a wash round, and y'all will continue into the next round.
So wait, I'm curious. This is your favorite of the year so far?
I fucking love this movie.
So good. It's so fucking good. It's honestly one of the best chase movies I have seen since I saw The Devil.
And like, I think, my husband thought it was okay. Like, I'm going to keep bringing Andrew into this. Yeah, he was kind of like, yeah,
we get it, you're married.
No, but I mean, again, like, if y'all don't know, the premise of this movie is it is a deaf mute woman who is stalked through the streets of South Korea by a serial killer after she witnesses one of his almost murders. And this movie zigged when I thought it was gonna zag. It was edge of my seat for me. Like I missed it at Fantastic Fest last year, and I was really bummed about it. And so when I finally saw it, I was just like, this is very much my shit.
I feel like I should rewatch it because I maybe because I did see it at Fantastic Fest last year, and I thought maybe all the movies it just sort of
it happens.
Yeah.
So
and I also forgot it came out.
We all were no, so that means we move on.
Yep.
So Terry, MaryBeth, and Kay, you are still alive for another round.
But for the rest of you, has anyone seen this movie besides Terry, Joe, and I?
I would have thought Jenny would have seen it, to be honest.
I haven't yet. But I have seen a Korean movie called Midnight FM.
Is it any good?
It's pretty good, actually.
Did it come out this year?
Came out like 10 years ago.
Oh.
Usually. But also, Letterboxd says this movie is a thriller.
Oh my God, Jenny is a Letterboxd hero. Get her out of here.
Okay. For everyone, like, the way I do it is if a horror website or a genre website covers it, it is a horror movie. Like, that's how I kind of categorize all this. I know it's not always really the case because we do kind of play fast and loose with our genre labels, but generally if it's on Dread, if it's on Bloody, if it's on Fangoria, like it qualifies.
Yeah, or if someone's getting split open in the first 30 seconds, that's also a pretty good indicator.
Right. Well, in what context?
I was literally like,
okay. I'm like, look, accurate though.
Okay.
I mean, it's a horror film of a different kind because how is that fitting in there? What? Let's move on.
This next one, Joe.
Okay, so the next one is polarizing, but we are moving back into more populist fare. It was a very divisive Netflix entry from earlier this year. It is the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, wow.
Oh, y'all messy for putting that on there.
Right.
I would have been out.
Messy boots.
All right, Terry is in. MaryBeth is out.
Ooh. This is the moment. This is the moment.
I'm so nervous.
I
list, Terry. I don't
admits he cheated.
I liked it too.
It's on my list because I saw the rating.
Okay.
This is another cheat.
I feel like Terry should be disqualified from the game.
The integrity of Terry's list is gone.
No, this is match game. This is where you're supposed to know the host and you're supposed to be able to pick something the host would pick.
Let me say this. I'm with Terry. I should have Terry, if I had an alliance in Big Brother, I would come up to you first.
Clearly we have identified the strategic players.
It's good strategy. I'm sitting over here getting political and I got knocked down in round 2. So
the moment you said match game, that is the rules of match game. It is to make sure that you pick something that the other person is gonna pick.
Yes, Terry, wait, Lindsay, I have a rebuttal to this. Yes, you are right. That is what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not supposed to be scouring our letterbox to look at the ratings of the films to make that list.
Excuse me, that is public information.
But then you don't like it though.
Also, To rebut Ryan, because that's a very good point about aligning with Terry. However, he pulled like a full-on like Mac by telling us all he was playing.
Right.
Well, no, but he
Voted out
doesn't know
week
it's Big
one,
Brother
though.
right now. So if we was in Big Brother, he
No,
would have did that
if this
without
is Big
telling you the
Brother-
tea.
He's immediately confessing. He's like, check.
Stone-faced.
He didn't even wink. He was like, check, wink. I cheated. And he was
Wait a minute. So
Because y'all
maybe-
can't
Big
stop him
Brother,
now.
I would
It's
be
too
stone
late.
faced. I would be
I-
stone faced, and you get nothing.
I kind of want to kick Terry out of the game and let Mary
Wow.
Beth and Kay continue into the next
Yeah, I
round.
agree.
Wait, no.
They're ghoulish. Who said that?
There's some good stuff that you passed over. I'm like, how is that? How are we up? I like Texas Chainsaw, but
I
I'm
think we
like,
should-
this movie, this movie, this movie.
I think if we're gonna do that, then none of us picked it, and so we should just continue onward.
Now-
because the rest of mine are ones that
Are
I
they
believe
legit,
in.
Terry?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I have a
That's
question
fair.
though. Did anyone besides me, Joe, and Kay like this movie?
No.
No, I liked it.
I kind of forgot which movie we were talking about.
I'm
thinking about Big Brother now. I'm thinking about Big Brother now. No,
You liked it. I liked it. I want to win.
Texas Chainsaw would have been on mine. It would have been on mine.
too.
It's my second to least favorite horror movie of the year.
Ooh,
like of all
Jenny,
time.
Work.
what is your least favorite of the year?
They slash them.
Oh yeah.
That's trash.
Dad, you didn't even take a breath.
No
Ready
hesitation.
to
Absolutely
go.
ruthless.
DeVaughn, where does this stack in terms of Morbius and Scream?
It's
Hot
above it's above Morbius and Scream for sure. I've watched a lot of Texas Chainsaw this week actually
Oh,
too.
right, yeah.
And Texas 22. It's messy, but it's also like seeing an old athlete at like, they're about to retire, but they have that just like one game out of nowhere that just like his personal performance, Leatherface, not the movie.
Oh, I thought you were doing like a
No,
metaphor for the movie,
No,
and I was like,
no.
where
I
are
was
you
like,
going?
this is
No,
very-
Leatherface.
So
This is the Rocky Balboa of Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaws. He's on the edge of retirement, but he's still got some tricks up his sleeve, and he's still fucking them kids up. So
That's
was
how I
here
would
for
describe
him.
that movie, actually. So, I mean,
I was here for him.
In a tick in the good corner, it actually has a Chainsaw Massacre in Texas.
Ding.
I mean, again,
correct.
look,
Damn right it
for
does.
both Joe and I, we acknowledge its problems. It's messy. Its messaging is extremely problematic and underthought.
Messy.
Weird.
That being said, for a 73-minute like Chainsaw Massacre movie in a franchise full of, let's say, not winners, we had fun with this one.
It's Adrian.
Yeah, I have.
This is
fun
kind of
too.
our throw the bone. We should have clarified earlier, Trace. This is not a ranked list. This is
Oh, I
organized
totally
from like most populous, we think, to least populous. So this is not like our fifth favorite film of the year.
Hold on, you thought
You
people
put
would like
Midnight
Texas
over this?
Chainsaw more than Scream?
Yeah, Adrian, think the same thing. It's
For a
like,
pop-
that's
a
fascinating.
Netflix movie?
No.
No,
The
other
most
way
popular
around.
to least.
Scream.
We don't have time to defend our rules. There are rules, and you agreed to come on here.
Clearly, Trace is
Scream
like
was
changing the
gonna be
rules
on
as we go.
people's list.
Okay, so
Okay.
what are we doing? Are we saying that Terry has been booted out and MaryBeth and Kay get to continue?
I think
Or
we should
do
all
can say
continue.
all of them get
Yes,
to
we
continue
should
because
all
none
be
of
an
them really
alliance
picked it.
together.
For
No,
the
but when you say
drama of it
all
all, just let them
Okay,
all
it's
keep
like
going.
we're all friends.
When you say
Yeah.
all of them, do
So,
you mean the
Trace,
three of them,
you
or are
can
we
come
bringing,
with us?
or are we bringing everyone back into the game and just saying fuck it?
If Might as
Terry's
well,
staying
right?
in, we're all coming back.
Wow.
Okay, no,
the
you
room
know
is
what?
turning
You know
on
what?
Terry.
Use
and I'm
me
loving
for
it.
playing the game.
I love
wait,
you,
wait.
Terry. I do,
No,
but
this
I
is
want
fair.
back
This
in.
is fair, Terry, because you're a dirty cheater. Now everyone gets to come back into the game, and you get one more chance.
This is
I
Among
wanna
Us
lose
all over
twice in
again.
one night.
There are some like
Well, now we got all
random
the movies I
RuPaul's
don't
Drag
like out of the
Race
way.
twists.
I was going to say,
going
this
on
is
right
very
now.
I
much
love it.
Big Brother.
It's.
RuPaul's
I'm about to
Drag
say.
Race, actually.
I'm with you,
PBS.
MB. I was like, oh yes.
Okay, so all right, silence.
Silence.
Bring back.
Bring back my girls.
Right.
You're all back in. You get one more chance. All right.
Love it.
I reject this chance.
Okay.
I worked
Well,
really hard
Lindsay,
not
you're
to
booted
be.
from the chat then.
I was like, I'm not going to be a sore loser, and now I'm going to have to lose two.
Wait, Lindsay, what if the next one is Hell House?
Yeah. And for this one, we picked a 2009.
For the next
It's
one, we
actually gonna be
picked
Dr. Sleep.
Midnight FA.
Oh my gosh.
FM.
Okay.
Okay, Trace.
Like a radio
Okay.
station.
So this is the 7th film in our non-ranked top 10 list. This is a film that does co-star a Marvel Cinematic Universe actor, and some people really liked it, and others thought it was, well, some people didn't. So there you go.
Some people thought it was
Fresh.
not gourmet.
Not again.
Oh, MaryBeth, not a fan.
I did not like Fresh.
Got a spread
I did
here.
not like it.
It's in my last spot.
Okay.
Ooh.
So MaryBeth,
Okay.
why didn't you like this one?
So it's like I saw it at Sundance, and I was like, I really like Sebastian Stan, and I think he's got a great performance, but I think it's like a very shallow movie in my from my perspective. I think there's so many more interesting movies that came out this year that have a lot, I think, say maybe similar things, but in a more creative way. That yeah. So that's my thoughts on it.
All right,
It's a movie
Jenny?
that I really
Yeah, Jenny.
liked while I was watching it, but
Right.
the further away I get from it, the more I'm like, it was okay.
Yeah, exactly that.
This is my number one, actually.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Scream at the bottom and Fresh at number 1.
Yeah, she's got range.
I mean, this is the
Fresh-
joys of being a horror fan, right? Like, we can all have these diverse opinions, and nobody's right or wrong.
Which
except for DeVaughn,
yeah,
who's wrong. So yeah,
which I guess so. But I totally totally respect Jenny and MaryBeth's reasonings. For me, I enjoyed just the thrill of watching it so much, and kind of like you said, like maybe if you look a little bit at it, it's not as deep as it thinks it is, and maybe also if this would have came out before Promising Young Woman, maybe it might have hit a little different. I don't know. But I really enjoyed just the aspect of. I've been on an erotic thriller kick this year, so having a fresh modern take. I didn't need to sneak that one in there. Was a lot
everybody
of fun.
pointed to Devon. He
Sebastian
said the title.
Yeah, I said it. Sebastian Stan, so much fun, and I love me a late game title card drop. I mean, chef's kiss for me.
Yeah,
that's fair.
that was great.
That's fair.
So this one was a toss-up for me. It was on my list because I did really enjoy it. I enjoyed it because it surprised me like constantly. And yeah, I think looking back on it, getting further away from it, it might not hold up as well. But like that first watch of enjoying that movie and just being on a ride the entire time, just like, yeah, it was on my list. I will say that there is another movie that I think does what this is doing, but does it better. It's just a little bit more rough around the edges. I just knew that no one on this list probably, except for MaryBeth, might have seen it, but Keeping Company.
I haven't seen that.
Premiered that. We premiered that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was at Salem. Yeah, I think that movie is doing what this movie is doing, but doing it better. It's just more rough around the edges. It's more indie. It's not as refined, but it is tackling very similar subject matter.
So it's not out yet though. Do you know when it's supposed to be coming?
It is out.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh,
Okay.
is it?
Okay. How can you watch it?
Yeah, I want to add that.
We
Well,
talked
it's pretty
to the
funny.
co-writer and actor on our podcast, Devin Doss. He is great, but
So sweet.
Nice.
he's a sweet.
It
man.
is really funny. Like Kay was saying, it's funny and gross, and it's a really good balance between horror comedy, and it
just doesn't have the same sheen as this one. And so like this was a toss up, and I probably could have put Keeping Company on here, but I was like, this one is probably more. Everyone has seen it.
Right,
No one has
right.
Keeping Company.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have like one thing to say because I actually didn't get to say why I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I love cannibal movies, and this was not it. I don't think it was dark enough. I don't think that it was smart enough, and I felt like it was really shallow the entire way through.
Okay.
And I didn't like the easy tropes it went for as well. I don't know. I love cannibal stuff. This was not it for me.
You should see Keeping Company, Jenny.
Now it's on my list.
And those of you who did not like this, I mean, that's not the first time I've heard those exact same opinions. So you're not alone in that statement.
But if you like movies where they eat ass, this is
Literally
fun for
or
you.
you just like
She
eating
doesn't
ass.
have one though. She never had one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Touche.
But
Plot hole.
Okay. So number 8. Oh, so, all right, so I got Jenny and MaryBeth are out that round. Okay. So number 8 on our 10 list. This is a movie that deals with the sensitive subject of race, starring a very usually funny actress from the Scary Movie films. And this is Regina Hall in Master.
Okay, hold up.
Lindsay, I'm like looking at Lindsay.
For my what? Carry on.
I saw it, but
I haven't seen it yet.
No one had
so we
this.
knocked everybody out with that one.
Oh wow.
Just haven't seen it.
Who has seen this movie? Okay. Oh wow.
I have.
Wow. So y'all are not fans of this.
it was okay. I didn't think it
You
was
didn't even
bad.
make your
but-
fake list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, I think it's another movie that is a little shallow, that I think was trying to do a lot. I think it was trying to do too much. I don't think it needed all 3 storylines. I think it needed to focus on one story and really go into it. I think the performances are really amazing, and I think there is something there, but I think the execution was just very clunky and very kind of all over the place.
I did really enjoy this, but something I've learned a lot with, especially horror films that are doing like dealing with racism. I see a lot of claims about films like, be it Candyman or Antebellum or Master, where it's like it's didactic, you know, they're over explaining racism and it's like treating you like you're a child. I didn't get that from this movie, but I could see how that could be the vibe it gives off.
Well, and I will say it does depict, like, so to plug Dread Central, Sheree Bohannon reviewed this for the site, and her review is really interesting because she is a Black woman in academia, or has been a Black woman in academia. So she had this really awesome perspective about how this movie does capture that existence as a Black woman in a space that is dominated by white men.
Yep.
And so I think that does come through a lot in this movie, which I think is really interesting, which is why I was so bummed it didn't land all the way for me. Because I think it is tackling some really important stuff that we have never seen in horror before. I didn't hate it either. It just like is not my top, and like I'm really glad it exists as a movie. It didn't work as well as I wish it could have for me.
Yeah, for me it's the same as like Watcher. I think Regina Hall is fantastic in it. I love the look of the film. I love the direction. I just thought the script was not that great. It just, I think it would have been better. It would have probably been more, it would have worked better for me if they were more like short films that were connected to like some overarching thing, as opposed to like we're just constantly cutting back and forth between the stories, and we're not giving characters enough time to actually be themselves, where it's just like we have a shot of Regina Hall teaching, and then we have a shot of the kid, and then we have like it's just it felt a bit too ramshot in terms of like the actual editing and the storyline, so it didn't land for me. But Regina Hall is fantastic. I love her more.
Yeah, and to build on that, Regina Hall is amazing, and so is Mariama Diallo. Like, and I think I was rooting for this because I'm such a fan of Hairwolf, which I thought was just like brilliant and hilarious. But anytime a movie gets into like the horror has elements of race in it, personally, I'm just a little exhausted with that. So it just didn't make my list, just solely based on that. I just want to see a different type of discussion happening when it's like a predominantly Black horror film, like in my mind. But I'm still rooting for her because I really feel like I can see where people would enjoy this film. I actually like watching it. It's visually stunning, and a lot of the messages, I get the allure, but I kind of have like a little bit of jet lag with certain topics in horror, or in general. I want to see us represented differently.
I was thinking maybe it would play better for like younger, like high school or college students, because I think from like the student perspective could be interesting for someone who hasn't had it yet. But and I really like the board politics, like the interpersonal sort of like the passive aggressiveness and all of that. Them trying to navigate that, and it has a little bit of like in Get Out, that sort of like I would vote for Obama for a third term kind of energy.
Well, and
how can we be racist? We have 2 Black women here.
Well, and I think what we're starting to see a lot more of in any horror film that tackles like minorities, it's always the kind of a thing where it's like the horror element, and I'll even use Master as an example, almost feels a little tacked on to where it's like the real horror is in the racism, the real horrors, and the homophobia. But we're also going to give you a little bit of like traditional horror elements, and it's kind of like, well, I just wish you wouldn't do that. Like let the horror, the real life horror, just be the horror. That being said, this still worked for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we booted out everyone who was left with that pick. So shall we let them all come back and continue on? Or are you folks kind of like, Jesus Christ, your picks are out of control? And
No,
I'm ready
feel
to
like that.
that again.
Oh, sorry.
I said I'm ready
Still
to
in the game. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll say because nobody, in case nobody else does, that if we didn't let everybody back in, Kay would have won. And so I just want you to at least get a silver medal for that.
Hey.
I'm good with that. I approve.
okay. All right. So I'm reading out our second last, number 9 pick. This is a thriller that Trace and I were big fans of. And if Midnight hadn't come along and stolen our hearts, this would probably be one of the top contenders because it was also very surprising. It is Hulu's No Exit.
Yeah.
MaryBeth is like, what?
There's a lot of blank faces here.
Ryan!
Yay, I guess. I don't know.
I think you won.
Yeah, you won.
Well, not rightfully so. I actually could, because Kay was getting it, but I mean, I really did like No Exit. Like, I mean, it was just fun to me. I know some people who read the book, they were just like,
Oh, really?
But
Wait. I'm sorry. Which No Exit book? Because I didn't.
It's based on a book.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to say, because I didn't read it, so I saw your eyebrows hit your hairline. I was like, listen, I don't know. Somebody told me it had a book, but I didn't read it.
Yeah,
but,
it's based on a book.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Because the famous No Exit book is Jean-Paul Sartre's No Exit, about people that are like trapped in a room together
Yeah,
and it
it's
turns
not
out
that
to be
one.
hell. Yeah, so I was like, wait, it's not that book.
So in case folks haven't seen this one, it is a woman who is in rehab and she basically learns that her mother is really sick. So she escapes and drives into a winter storm, and then she gets trapped at a freeway off-ramp exit with a bunch of strangers, and they have to spend the night, but they're all kind of hiding secrets.
I fucking forgot this movie existed. Oopsies.
I really
So
like
clearly
it.
not a fan, MaryBeth.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
It's again one of those where it's like, oh, this direct to streaming film that I had, like, Joe made me watch it because he was like, oh, watch this, we're probably going to cover it, and I was like, okay. And I really, again, just kind of on a ride. It's in and out really quick. I had a lot of fun with it.
Good whodunit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the suspense was really good too. I really like one location suspense films.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because you can do it so badly. So then when a film does it reasonably well or even really well, then you're like pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got one more, and then we will open the floor up to films that have not made our list, but maybe have made yours. So if you are knocked out, begin thinking about which film you might want to highlight for the crowd. And Trace, take it away. Number 10.
Number 10. This is a foreign film that could be seen as a kind of pseudo chronicle with a bunch of evil children, and that is going to be The Innocents.
Oh, I did not consider this a horror movie. Hold on.
I did not. Yeah,
So
I did not
I
think
would
you would
have been. It
include
would have been in
It
my
was-
top 10 though.
me
Can I
too.
like count it?
This movie horrified me. I don't know how you wouldn't think it's a horror film. It's so mean. And anyway, yeah, it's basically about a group of kids who discover that they have superpowers, and then they start using them against each other in horrifying ways.
Man, how did I not know this existed? This is like,
Yeah.
this is calling to
Totally
me. Oh my
see it,
goodness.
So
it
this
is a
the
foreign
one.
film. So it's by one of the co-writers of Thelma.
And
And the worst person in
the
the
worst
world.
person in the world. Yeah. But
Oh.
there is animal death, like pretty disturbing.
Mhm.
animal death.
Oh.
Very bad animal death.
Okay. Thank you for the warning.
Mhm.
I'll shield Cal's eyes when we watch it.
It's actually a cat.
Maybe he'll be
Which
cool with that.
that's not the first movie that's 2022 to kill a cat, because we also have the Firestarter remake that is the exact same thing.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, me
I
either.
do not watch the new Firestarter.
I wasn't going
That's why
to.
I didn't watch it.
So I will say, I'm going to just go ahead. Yeah, we'll say Ryan and Kay, y'all are co-winners for this because Kay lost on a technicality. She would have won if Terry wasn't such a dirty cheater.
That's still killing me.
But sorry for understanding the rules of match game.